Channel 1, Channel 2, 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 Channel 1, Channel 2,
Hello and welcome to Andersen Sports Live. I'm Ramsey Ware.
And I'm Brett Detmer.
Gonzaga is set to take on North Carolina tonight at 8:20 p.m. Central. The Bulldogs are looking for their first ever national championship in history, while the Blue Bloods are seeking their 7th title.
The San Antonio in the first NCAA final game in Phoenix, Arizona, Gonzaga takes on South Carolina. In the first half, Parzemek Karnowski gets blocked by Chris Silva, and the big man is down for the count after Silva's block hits him in the face. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Nigel Williams-Goss with the ball for Gonzaga and drives and hits a jumper down low, and the fans are pumped up. In the second half, Jordan Matthews drains a 3, and the bench is loving it. P.J. Dozier hits a jumper in the paint over defenders to tie the ball game at 65. Then Karnowski gets the ball once more for a humongous dunk.
You have 37 wins in a college season. I mean, that's just unbelievable. And to be playing the last game of the season, you know, we have a chance to play for it all, and we're here to win it.
In Phoenix, Arizona, the Oregon Ducks meet the North Carolina Tar Heels. In the first, Dylan Enos with 3 points, putting up Oregon 30-22. Later in the first, North Carolina Kennedy Meeks gets a layup to bring North Carolina to 37-36. Then in the second, Meeks is back with a rebound turned basket by Joel Berry II. Oregon answers with a jump shot outside the arc by Tyler Dozier, pushing for a comeback. With 46 seconds left in the game, Oregon is down. Tyler Dozier puts up a 3, which goes in. 4 seconds left, Berry at the line. He misses. Tar Heels rebound and hold to win 77-76.
We're ecstatic to be here and getting ready to play what I think has been the best team in college basketball all year long, and a great friend of mine in Mark Few.
The San Antonio Spurs played host to the Utah Jazz yesterday. Kawhi Leonard led all scorers with 25, while Tony Parker had 21 points for the Spurs. Boris Diaw and Rudy Gobert both had 19 points, leading the Jazz. The Spurs went on to win 109-103. The Spurs are now 59-17 with a 30-8 home record. The Golden State Warriors hosted the Washington Wizards. Stephen Curry led all scorers with 42 points with 9 3-pointers. Bradley Beal led the Wizards with 20 points. The Warriors went on to win 139-115. The Warriors are 63-14 with only 4 losses at home. The Atlanta Hawks traveled to the Brooklyn Nets to take on the Nets. Dennis Schroeder led the Hawks with 16 points, and Brooke Lopez led the Nets with 29 points. The Nets went on to win 91-82, although their record is 18-59. The Minnesota Timberwolves will play host to the Portland Trail Blazers tonight at 6 p.m. on NBA TV. With a Portland win will make the New Orleans Pelicans be eliminated from a playoff spot. The Portland Trail Blazers are currently the number 8 seed in the West with a 38-38 record. Portland is in front of the Denver Nuggets by 2 games.
It's baseball's best day. Opening day and games are underway. The Red Sox took down the Pirates 5-3. The Nationals won their home opener against the Marlins 4-2, and the New York Mets shut out the Atlanta Braves 6-0 behind a stellar pitching performance. And rounding out the early game, the Detroit Tigers and White Sox are in a delay. After the break, we will dive into games that happened last night.
A lot of high school students would ask, why should I go to UNL? Well, why did Johnny Carson, the Tonight Show fan, go to UNL? Why did multi-billionaire businessman Warren Buffett go to UNL? Why did people of such great fame and success go to UNL? Simple, because these are people that wanted to be successful. At the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, you too can begin your own success story. After all, if people like this can achieve national recognition and who came from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, then so can you.
For nearly 7 years now, Here Nebraska has provided the state with nonprofit music journalism. Our platform survives on the hard work and dedication of our staff and our contributors, everyday volunteers that generate content. Contributing is an excellent way to gain valuable professional experience, recognition, and build your portfolio. Go to herenebraska.org to learn more and how you can contribute.
East Campus is for students who want an education outside of the classroom. We have art, agriculture, fashion, food science, law, dentistry, and a lot of trees, all of which are housed just on the corner of 33rd and Holdridge. Grab an ice cream cone at our dairy store or take a stroll through our gardens while you're here. Want to make it legit? Visit us at casnr.unl.edu to reserve a tour soon.
It is a national holiday for baseball fans. That's right, it's opening day. Let's get right to the action.
In St. Louis, Randall Gerchik hits a 2-run home run off of Pedro Strop to put the Cardinals up 3-0 over the Cubs. In the top of the ninth, Wilson Contreras hits a 3-run home run to straightaway left field to tie the ball game at 3. With the bases loaded, Gerchik hits a walk-off bomb to give the Cardinals a 4-3 win over the world champs.
Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, San Francisco Giants versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Madison Bumgarner on the mound for the Giants, striking out 2 batters in the bottom of the second. He ended the day with 11 Ks. Top of the 7th, game tied at 3. Mad Bum making noise in the batter's box, hitting a home run deep to left field, putting the Giants up 4-3. He finished with 2 homers. Bottom of the 9th, 2 on, 2 outs. Chris Owings rips one into right field, which brings on the walk-off run from third base. Diamondbacks win 6-5.
In Tampa Bay, the Rays take on the Yankees. With the bases loaded, Logan Morrison gets a hit past the second baseman to make the score 3-0. Winning 3-2, the Rays' Evan Longoria hits a 2-run home run to take the lead to 5-2. And last but not least, Morrison hits a solo shot to center field to give the Rays an opening day win over the Yankees. The American League champion Cleveland Indians will play the Texas Rangers at 6 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. 2014 Cy Young winner Corey Kluber will take the mound for the Indians against Yu Darvish for the Rangers. The Seattle Mariners travel to play the Houston Astros at 7:10 p.m. Central Time. 2010 Cy Young winner Felix Hernandez will face 2016 Golden Glover and 2015 Cy Young winner Dallas Keuchel. The Oakland Athletics will host the Los Angeles Angels at 9 p.m. Central Time on ESPN2. Kendall Graveman will take the mound for the Athletics, while Ricky Nolasco gets the start for the Angels.
For more on our national pastime, let's send it to our own sluggers at the Andersen Sports Live at the Roundtable. Jack, I know you're excited up there. Is the opening day party winding down yet?
It is not winding down, Ramsey. The opening day party is in full effect. Let's get a camera shot on our guys here. Look at this, Matt Rigby in a full Mets uniform. How good does that look? Also joined by Michael Dixon. So yes, as Ramsey mentioned, guys, opening day is here. We had some games yesterday. We saw those highlights, a full slate of games today. The biggest story in the offseason, the Chicago Cubs, World Series champions, ended a 108-year World Series drought. But I'm here to talk today about some teams not named the Cubs and some teams that have a shot to win the World Series this year. So we'll start in the American League. And Matt, I'll ask you, the Indians got to the Fall Classic a year ago. Do you think they have what it takes to get back there this year?
I do. I think they're the favorite in the clubhouse, if you will, in the American League. They've got the best rotation to me in the AL. You get guys like Carrasco and Salazar fully healthy. Remember, they didn't even have them on that World Series run last year. So I do like the Indians, like the Red Sox as well. But if you're asking me for a team to really look out for in the American League, I stay in the Central. And I want to talk about a team that contended for a wild card down to the finish line 2 years ago, fell off a little bit last year, but still has a lot of pieces. That's the Minnesota Twins. I know a lot of people might laugh at that pick, but Byron Buxton used to be a #1 overall prospect in all of baseball. Twins are still waiting for him to arrive. You got Miguel Sano, who homered already today against the Royals. He's ready to explode. And you got the guy on the screen right now, Brian Dozier. He had 43 bombs last year. So I really like what Minnesota's got cooking. If they can get enough from their pitching staff, guys like Irvin Santana, they might surprise some people.
So that's two teams in the American League Central, in the Indians and the Twins. But Michael, I know you have your eyes on a team possibly out west.
Yeah, another team that has been down to the wire in a couple of wild card races over the last couple of years. Haven't been able to get it done. Haven't been able to get it done in 16 years. That's the Seattle Mariners. I think Jerry DiPoto's become one of the better general managers in baseball. He's not scared to make a move. Showed that when he dealt cornerstone piece Taijuan Walker for Gene Segura. Interesting little experiment they've got going on in the outfield with 3 true center fielders playing in left, center, and right, and Gerard Dyson, Leonis Martin, and Mitch Haniger. Those guys aren't going to give you a whole lot offensively, but defensively, especially in the outfield, they should be a significant improvement over what the Mariners were last year. Still got Robbie Cano, still got Kyle Seager, still got Nelson Cruz. Rotation has some question marks, but still, I think it's a good team.
He's mentioned 0 pitchers. I don't know if the M's have the pitching. No team in the AL West really is deep when it comes to starting rotation, though. So, the M's could get it done.
You know who's not deep is my hometown guys, the Chicago White Sox. I'm not sure it's going to be a great year for them. But, hey, you never know. A team like the Twins could make a run. So let's move on to the National League. Again, here are the rules. You can't pick the Cubs to come out of the National League. So let's look at some other teams. Michael, I'll start with you this time. Who do you like to maybe make a run in that league?
I like the Los Angeles Dodgers. Maybe not like the Los Angeles Dodgers. Think the Los Angeles Dodgers are a safe pick. They've won the NL West 4 consecutive years. I wouldn't be surprised to see him win it a 5th consecutive year. Got a cornerstone piece in Corey Seager. Got guys like Jock Peterson. Still got Adrian Gonzalez, Justin Turner, Yasmani Grandal. Of course, you always have Clayton Kershaw, who's probably the best pitcher in the game. I know the Dodgers aren't great, but I think they're consistent enough, and I think they're consistently good enough to win the NL West for a 5th straight year this year.
You're gonna get a theme from me. I'll get to the next one. You're gonna get a theme from me in this little segment, and it is rotation depth. And I just don't think the Dodgers have it. And you just talked about this 4 years in a row. They've won the NL West. I think the Giants have the deeper starting rotation. I mean, the Dodgers are counting on guys like Rich Hill. That might be a little bit dangerous. I like the Mets because they have good rotation depth. I also like the Nationals. It's going to be a dogfight in the NL East. But Yoenis Cespedes, you see him on the screen here. You're going to see Asdrubal Cabrera probably in just a minute. I think they can get enough out of that lineup to go with those 5 horses, Syndergaard, DeGrom, Harvey, Matz, Wheeler. And I think they could surprise some people in the NL, get back to the World Series for the 2nd time in 3 years.
Well, it'll definitely be a fun year. As you can see, we're all excited here, Ramsey. Matt's even in full uniform. So it's a very exciting day, and we're looking forward to the rest of the season. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Our boys on the street went out on UNL's campus to find out who they think will win the 2017 World Series.
This is Sports on the Street. I'm Dean Knuth on the University of Nebraska Lincoln campus talking to people on who they think is going to win the Major League Baseball World Series.
Cubs.
The Cubs? Ooh. Hey, what's your name, man?
Santiago.
All right, Santiago. Who do you think is going to win the World Series?
I think it's going to be the Cubs.
Perfect. Thank you. Obi, who do you think is going to win the World Series?
Got to go with my Red Sox.
It's a pretty bold choice. All right, what's your name, man?
Miles.
Miles, who do you think is going to win the World Series?
I don't think it really matters who wins or loses as long as they have a good game, but the Red Sox.
I like it. Thank you. Who do you think is going to win the World Series?
Chiefs.
The Chiefs?
Wait, the Royals, my bad.
Megan, who do you think is going to win the World Series?
I'm gonna have to go with the Royals.
It's a perfect choice with your. Why do you think the Royals are going to win?
Well, that's what my sweatshirt is.
That's very true. That's very true.
You know what? I think the Dodgers are going to take it all. You know what? Shout out to my boys in LA.
You want to know who's going to be in the World Series or who's going to win it?
Who's going to win it?
Can I tell you who they're going to play?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think it's going to be the Cubs and the Royals.
All right.
But I'm going to give it to the Cubs in 7.
Ooh, Cubs in 7.
Yeah, even though I love the Royals, I just think it's going to be the Cubs in 7.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Coach.
Well, that's it for Sports on the Street today. For Dean Knuth, I'm Tommy Rezach. We'll send it back to you at the desk.
Ramsey, who do you think's going to win the World Series?
Well, my team is the Chicago White Sox, but it's probably going to be a little bit of a north side action again this year.
Yeah, I think so. After the break, we'll talk women's golf, Tiger Woods, and the Masters Golf Tournament at the Augusta National Golf Club.
Our goals are simple: conserve and protect. The choice is yours. Stay ahead of the game and invest in reusable containers, or simply make use of recycling bins. Our recycling bins around campus can recycle paper, plastic, and even aluminum. Finished with that newspaper? Recycle it. Did you drink the rest of your pop? Recycle it. Heck, we'll even take your homework. Well, after it's graded, of course. Stop throwing away plastic and just recycle it.
What can we do with 2.2 million square feet?
We can create.
design,
develop,
study,
Generate.
build.
At Innovation Campus, we combine research and transformation.
We combine business and art, technology and research.
We combine minds with makers, experts and novices.
We innovate.
Welcome to Innovation Campus.
The historic Haymarket, a beautiful place just west of downtown Lincoln, home of the exciting Pinnacle Bank Arena and a rich history. The Haymarket's history starts shortly after Lincoln's founding, when Lincoln was a busy hub for trains filled with traders and merchants. But now, Lincoln has a new rail yard that's filled with people looking for food, drinks, or fun. The Haymarket is loaded with restaurants and fun for everyone. What are you waiting for? Go visit lincolnhaymarket.org/events to find out what's happening today.
Well, Brett, the PGA is in full swing for the season now that the Masters are on the books.
There's now a new way for sports viewers to get involved in the action after a viewer sent an email to the LPGA regarding an infraction made when Lexi Thompson was replacing her ball on the green. The 4 penalty strokes added forced Thompson into a playoff round against Yeon Ryu, who ended up winning.
It has been 20 years since Tiger Woods achieved his very first green jacket at the Masters, yet he was missing among the lineup of world's best golfers this year. Woods has been fighting a back injury and announced before the tournament that his rehabilitation kept him from being competition ready. As of now, there is no expected time of return. For more on the Masters and LPGA, here's Brett and correspondent Scott Ayers at the coffee table.
Thanks, Ramsey. And, Scott, the women's first major tournament of the golf season happened this weekend, and it ended in quite a debacle, right?
Yeah, it ended in a playoff win for Yeon Ryu, but it was Lexi Thompson who was just nudged out, and it was mainly because of a mistake that was made the day before. She had a 3-stroke lead on the 13th hole on Sunday, but a fan was watching, emailed the rules commissioner, and noticed that Thompson had slightly moved her ball, which is a 2-stroke penalty, and because she signed off on her card that day, it was another 2 strokes. So because of that, instead of having a big 3-stroke lead on the hole 13, she instead was down a stroke, had a tremendous comeback effort that forced a playoff, but it was just too short as Ryu was able to pull away.
And on the men's side, with the Masters coming up, Tiger Woods withdraws from the tournament yet again.
Man, classic Tiger Woods, someone who has been fantastic early on in his career, but because of back troubles has been kept out. 2008 was his last major win, and 2013 was the last time he was really relevant in the sport of golf because of injuries and whatnot. And who would have thought a 41-year-old guy still being talked about? No other athlete would really be talked about in the sport of golf, but because of Tiger Woods and his history and all of that, and the mass surroundings of him, that is why we see him even being relevant nowadays.
And do you think it's time for him to just give it up?
Hey, you know what? I do think it is, but I don't think he will. I think he's such a fierce and tough competitor. This is a guy who we could see still trying to compete by the age of 45, 50, and that's just who Tiger Woods is.
And thanks, Scott, for joining us on the coffee table, but that's all the time we have, and back to you, Ramsey.
And here we are at the Houston Open. Angel Cabrera on the 9th tee box. His last hole of the day. He seems to like that hit. It's going, keeps rolling, and it is a hole-in-one. He loved it. His caddy loved it. Now here's Russell Henley on the 13th fairway. Chips onto the green to get a birdie once he finishes out that putt and moves to 18 under in lead. Henley now on the 14th drains a long birdie putt to finish 20 under and win the Houston Open. It's been a while since we've heard from the roundtable. Let's send it over to see what they've got cooking up there.
All right, thank you, Ramsey. So, guys, the Masters, biggest tournament in all of golf, starts on Thursday. The green jacket will be awarded on Sunday. Quickly, we know this is a tournament that usually the biggest stars in the game come out and play their best. So we'll start with you, Matt. Who do you like to win this tournament and why?
I agree with you. I think this is a tournament for the stars. I think golf is in a really healthy place right now. And I'll take one of the stars to win the tournament. I'll take Jordan Spieth. I think a guy who's got to exercise some demons. You see it here. It all fell apart last year at Augusta on the 12th hole. I think I know who Michael's going to pick in a minute. I won't tease it too much, but I'll just say wherever Jordan Spieth lacks when it comes to distance, he makes up for on the greens. Augusta's a course that awards guys who putt the ball really well. Jordan Spieth is one of those guys. Jordan Spieth won the Masters 2 years ago. He was, 5-6 holes away from winning it again last year. He took a left turn, I think we'd call it, by choking last year at Augusta. But I think he can exercise those demons, as I said, come back to Augusta, knows he can win there. And I think when it's all said and done, you could see Jordan Spieth have a second green jacket.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with Dustin Johnson. When you look at Johnson and Spieth, you compare them, they're almost the exact opposite player. Johnson's a very long hitter. Spieth has always been pretty good mentally, of course, until what happened a couple of years ago last year. But I really do think Dustin Johnson, by winning the U.S. Open, climbed over the mental hurdles that were the only thing that really kept him from becoming one of the true greats. This year, I have a tough time seeing anyone other than Dustin Johnson winning the Masters based on the way he's playing. Had 3 straight wins in February and March, and I just think he's the best player in the world right now.
So, guys, it's obviously a big week for sports, and nothing bigger, at least today, than the NCAA Men's Basketball National Championship game. We've talked about it already. It'll be UNC and Gonzaga. Michael, I want to start with you. The Tar Heels making it back to the championship game. We know they lost that heartbreaker a year ago to Villanova. What does Roy Williams' team need to do different this year if they want to walk away with the title?
I think it's 2 players, Theo Pinson, Justin Jackson. I think they've been really good offensively. They have been even better defensively. Were really good in that Oregon game. They were really good in that Kentucky game. And I think if those 2 guys play to the level they've played in this tournament and all year long, got to be tough to see North Carolina losing.
Matt, on the other hand, Gonzaga, this is the first time they've made it to the title game. Mark Few's program knocked on the door a couple times in recent memory. Couldn't get over that hurdle, though, until this year. What do the Zags need to do tonight if they want to beat a blue blood program, like UNC?
Rebound. Karnowski, Zach Collins, it starts with them down low. I think three-point shooting is going to be really important for the Zags as well. It's something they've done really well throughout the tournament so far. They've been very efficient. They've gotten good shots from behind the arc. But let's face it, North Carolina is the #1 rebounding team in the entire country. They've kept that rebounding margin throughout the tournament so far. If the Zags want to win, they've got 2 7-footers in the low block. They've got to scoop things up off the glass. They've got to turn that into second opportunities on the offensive end, and they've got to limit North Carolina to just 1 opportunity when the Tar Heels go down the floor on their trips. I think the Zags can get it done if they rebound.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a star-studded affair. You got Zach Collins, Karnowski, Nigel Williams-Goss on Gonzaga, and then Justin Jackson and Joel Berry. Really quickly, while we have some time here, who do you guys think will walk away with the national championship tonight?
I like North Carolina still. I think North Carolina's been the best team in the country for most of the year. There have been times where they haven't exactly played like it, but I really do think that they're probably the best team. They've been the best team throughout the tournament as well. And surprisingly, not a lot of people were huge on North Carolina. They liked UCLA and Kentucky in that reason. I think North Carolina's run through the gauntlet much more than Gonzaga has. I like the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I think Pinson and Jackson are simply too athletic, though I would really love to see Gonzaga win for all the mid-major programs across the country.
Well, it should be a fantastic game, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I'll send it back down to the anchor desk with Ramsey and Brett.
While the men's game is tonight, the women played last night. Highlights and more analysis will be right here after the break.
This is the nation's biggest multicultural center attached to a union. There's space to interact, study, and create. We're home to dozens of cultures, majors, and interests. We are home to all underrepresented students. And here, there's always room for you. Located on the east side of the UNL City Campus Union, find your home away from home. Find us at the Jackie Gunn Multicultural Center.
At the Outdoor Adventure Center, you'll find activities for everyone. From canoeing to kayaking to rock climbing. Everyone can get involved, but if you want to find them, you probably have to look up. The Outdoor Adventure Center isn't something you can really define. It's a culture built through experiences. Take a class with us. Go on a trip with us. We're open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Come move with us. Come adventure with us. You just have to experience it.
It's your first stop on campus. It's your helping hand. It's a place to study, a place to eat, and a place to plan. The NCARD office, Career Services, Student Affairs Center, a multicultural center, food, and even Greek affairs.
Wait, did you mention food?
Yes, but we have a lot of other stuff too. Come check it out at the Union.
It's our union.
The women's basketball NCAA National Championship game was last night between the Mississippi State Bulldogs and the South Carolina Gamecocks. Mississippi State is fresh off their overtime upset of UConn in their Final Four matchup last Friday night. The South Carolina Gamecocks take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs for the national championship in Dallas. Alicia Gray has the ball for South Carolina, who goes to the basket and hits a bank shot to widen the lead. Ajay Wilson muscles a strong rebound after a Carolina miss and puts it back late in the fourth quarter to seal the deal for South Carolina. The Gamecocks of South Carolina go on to win the national championship by a score of 67-55.
Before the championship game was the Final Four, where the UConn Huskies' 111-game streak was ended by the Mississippi State Bulldogs. When these teams met last year, UConn won in a blowout of 98-38. UConn's streak lasted 867 days with 108 double-digit wins. With 2 national titles, the team had 81 wins while ranked, 61 by over 40 points, and 29 over ranked teams.
For more on the Mississippi State women's basketball upset of UConn, our correspondent, Colton Stone, will discuss the overtime buzzer-beating shot by Mississippi State's Morgan Williams.
Thanks, Brett. Taking a look here at that UConn-Mississippi State game, where obviously the Bulldogs were able to dethrone the 111-game win streak and undefeated UConn Huskies. Single-handedly one of the greatest dynasties of the 21st century. As we know, basketball is a game of streaks as well as many other sports. That's what the fans want. And 111 games for one girl by the nickname of Itty Bitty to take down this powerhouse was an incredible sight to see, especially in this Final Four matchup. So we'll let it play through here one time with Dominique Dillingham taking a handoff pass there to the top of the key. Morgan Williams just drives right through from the elbow, about 15-foot floater. Look at it here from another angle, and right there at the buzzer, less than a second to go. So we'll go ahead and break this down. Go back to the beginning here, as we said. Dominique Dillingham taking that handoff pass there about 3/4 court, takes it down here, gets double teamed, and is going to be able to find a wide open Morgan Williams popping back here about 3/4 court. And as we see down here, the defender that comes off the double team then breaks down, tries to crash down over there. Morgan Williams just going to have this wide open alley to just drive through. And as the defender tries to come back, she's obviously off balance. Morgan Williams going to put up that floater from right there. And right there at the buzzer. We'll take a look at the other angle. As like we said, look at that alley. Just Morgan Williams had all the space that she needed, less than a second, puts up that floater. The defense really couldn't put up a block, and Mississippi State will play that out, ends up taking the win. Obviously, they had a chance there to beat South Carolina in the national championship, didn't quite get there. But everyone will remember this upset, maybe not the championship. So back to you guys at the desk.
And, you know, Ramsey, don't forget about the men's national championship tonight. Who do you got?
Well, I think I'll have to go North Carolina.
I think I will too. I mean, they seem to be the better team, but it would be good either one winning for me. And that's all we have for tonight. And I'm Brett Detmer.
And I'm Ramsey Ware. We will see you right here next week on Andersen Sports Live.